Riley, what did you learn about Saturday night, and how tough was that for you?
The three, flags that I got early in the game were obviously tough. And going back and, looking at the film, I feel like a couple of those could have been avoided. And then the targeting call is just, it's unfortunate. But that's the rule nowadays. So, I gotta change the way I play in that regard. But I thought we came out with a lot of energy. So, it was upsetting for me to have to leave in the first quarter. But, I've learned from it, and, I'm just moving on.
One quick follow-up. How did you think Joe played?
I think he played extremely well. Coming in as a true freshman and that being his first time playing, I thought he did a great job. And there was a lot of things that, he can learn from the film, which we already went over. So I think that overall experience for him was good.
Riley, I guess you've been involved in this game now for a few years and probably a lot longer than that. What does this mean, I guess, to you, Michigan Week, and what does it mean to your family?
Well, it means, a lot to me. Growing up, I've been watching this game ever since I can remember. Obviously, been a Spartan fan my entire life. And growing up, it seemed like it was Michigan's game. They were in control of the series when I was young, but that's kind of turned in the last few years. So to kind of be a part of that has meant a tremendous amount to me. So, this game is huge for us this week and our entire season, I think. So we're going to go out and play hard and do everything we can to get a win.
As kind of a follow to both Josiah and RJ, when did you finally, as out-of-staters, kind of grasp that rivalry?
I think the first time you have a Michigan Week is when you grasp it. If you're an out-of-state guy, don't really understand it when you come in. I mean, it's a big rivalry just because they're same school, same state. But when you get here, everything's just a little different on Michigan Game Week. Everything's a little more intense. And then when you take the field for the first time against Michigan, the atmosphere, it's crazy. A lot of energy, a lot of excitement, and a lot of tension. It's a fun one, and looking forward to it this weekend.
Yeah, just to piggyback on Josiah, my first time, obviously 2013, just the preparation in every senior and everyone from Michigan, ante's up. Even from the coaches, you can tell that this game is personal. Being from Wisconsin, not really, for the University of Wisconsin, really, they didn't have a big rivalry, but this is personal for, Michigan State fans in the state of Michigan. So you have to come and bring it for your brothers that are from here at Michigan and, just for Spartan Nation as well.
RJ, this question's for you. Obviously, Alabama structurally was different, but they're a type of dominating defense like Michigan has. And I'm just curious, after the Alabama game, Dave Warner's talked about they learned that they needed to get on the perimeter. That's how you're going to give Michigan the biggest test on offense. That means a lot of R.J. Shelton. When you know there'll be a lot on you, do you like that? Do you embrace it? And with a team that's struggling, do you maybe like it as an older player to have that on your shoulders?
I think first in general, you got to go right back, and it's one in the trenches. If you don't win in the trenches, you can't get the ball in the perimeter. You can't run the ball. You can't open up the playbook. So first and foremost, it starts up there first. And, when your name is called, you got to go and make a play. Whether it's offensive line, tight ends, wide receivers, running backs. So it's not just me. It's everyone on this team that has to make a play, and that goes for offense and defense and special teams for us to come out if we want to get a W this week against Michigan.
I guess to Riley, Josiah, whoever wants to weigh in, very strange that you've won 7 out of 8 and you got Michigan at home and nobody on the outside thinks you can win this game. Is this back to the same old we against the world mentality? Does any of that work in your favor?
Well, I think it does. But, I think, first and foremost, we gotta go out and compete. And we haven't done a good enough job of that the past 5 weeks. Obviously, losing, 5 in a row is something that is just not acceptable here. But, I think we definitely, now more than ever have that chip on our shoulder. And, we need to ante up. We need all the guys on our team to make that next step and be those high-quality players that we've had here and those high-quality teams. And we just need the guys to come this week ready to practice. And I'm sure our older guys will give the guys in their room a message about how much this means. And we'll be ready to play on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, this is a game that's, for the seniors, for this state, for the Michigan State fans, you got to come to play. I'm going to get my younger guys right in my room, and along with me and Josiah, are going to get our offensive, unit ready to play. So, we just have to come together as one and do what we need to do to have a shot at winning or to win the game.
I think anytime you're the underdog, you can have that mentality. And Michigan's ranked number 2 in the nation, so there's no doubt about it that we're going to be the underdog in this game. And yeah, we like to be in that situation. But it all comes down to execution and making plays on Saturday. We can talk about being the underdog and all this kind of stuff and getting ready to go, playing with a chip on our shoulder, but it all comes down to Saturday at noon, what we do out there on the field. So we really got to bring it, like Riley said, and make a lot of plays and play tough.
You guys are seniors, and you have an opportunity to do something very few Michigan State players have had, and that is go out never having lost to Michigan. What does that mean to you as a group?
I've been very vocal about it already this week. It is a special opportunity, and it's something that we can cherish and that our class can go down as being known for a team that went 4-0 against Michigan. So I don't think we're going to shy away from that just because Michigan's having a great season and undefeated so far. We're still going to try and bring that mentality. We got to come ready to play and that we can win this game and that we will win this game.
Exactly. We just got to, show who's a tougher team in Michigan. We know we can come out here and do what we need to do against Michigan. But again, it just goes to guys believing in themselves first, guys winning their individual battles, and obviously offense, defense, special teams coming making the plays when it's critical and when it's time need be. So it's going to be, this week, who's the tougher team, and the tougher team that, out-toughs, offense, defense, and wins our special team is going to win this game.
For any of the guys up there, I know you never imagined in a million years you would lose 5 straight games. When bad things happen to people, sometimes they're just kind of in a daze. They just can't believe. It's kind of like a movie or something. Is there any of that at all? And as strange as all that is, could the Michigan game come at a better time? If you win this game, boom, you're right back, kind of a deal?
I would say I hope there's no one on our team that's in a daze. I think, now more than ever, you need to be motivated and you need to be ready to come to work every single day, whether we're lifting or we're practicing or anything. In a time like this, you got to be willing to come in and put the work in because, we need to turn this thing around. It's not acceptable the way we've been playing, and we know that. We understand that, and, we've been doing everything we can to get a win. It just hasn't been going our way. So, if we can, just get that one victory and kind of turn the tide a little bit, because we feel like things have just kind of snowballed out of control. So we need to kind of slow that down and, get a win and try to turn it around.
Josiah, what would you say to people questioning Mark D'Antonio right now? Despite all you've won in recent years, you're not winning now, and people are quick to look at the coach. What would you say?
I would just say to look at his resume, look at what he's been able to do in his 10 years here at Michigan State. Look at the things we've been able to do, and then just look at the kind of man he is and the character that he carries as himself personally and with our program. I think he's turned a lot of things around in this program and done a lot of great things for a lot of great people here. And just because you lose a couple games, I think people get a little carried away with that kind of talk.
Josiah and RJ, you've both said no matter who's playing quarterback, you guys have full trust in them. But when Brian's in there, what is he doing well? What are his strengths at quarterback?
I think Brian plays fearless. I think he's not afraid to just throw the ball around, take shots, let it go. And then as you can see with his scrambling and the way he runs, he's not afraid to take a hit. He's not afraid to lower his shoulder and try and dive for the chains. He's going to give you everything he's got. He's a competitor. So I think those are some of the good things he's doing. He's given us everything he's got, and that's all we can ask for out of him.
Yeah, exactly. He's just laying it on the line, putting the ball in situations for us skill players to go make a play. He's playing for this offense, playing for the senior group, playing for this team. So he's doing a good job.
This could be for any of you guys, what you mentioned about getting some of the young guys kind of to understand this game and what it means. And has this season been kind of difficult in terms of those guys learning the culture of this program, or does it become tougher when things aren't going right on the field? Just kind of getting everybody on the same page, I guess.
I think this year has just been a kind of a combination of a lot of things. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what's gone wrong, and that's kind of what's difficult, I think, for me, because I feel like we're all the guys on our team are playing hard. The effort's there. It's just the little things here and there that just keep happening that are making us lose games. But our young guys understand what's at stake, so they'll be ready to play. And I think it's also important that our older guys need to start playing their best football, me included. I think that's extremely important as we move forward. And I think this week we're really going to turn it around and get things moving the other way.
Yeah, to go off of what Riley said, I think Coach C always says seniors have to have their best seasons here at Michigan State, and I think that would help out a lot with everything we got going on here if all our seniors just really start playing the best football of their career and really step it up a notch, because we aren't used to playing 9 freshmen in a season. That's not a common theme at Michigan State. So now that we're counting on some of those younger guys, we do got to help bring them along and carry them along, but we also got to understand they are freshmen, so we got to really help them get along and learn the steps that we already have kind of learned over our previous years of playing and stuff like that.
Right, this is I guess kind of a question for both you and the other 2 guys on offense. It's a two-parter. For you, when you see Wilton Spate and what Michigan's offense has done the past few weeks, what's kind of the keys to stopping them and I guess slowing them down with the points they've been putting up? And for the offensive guys, when you see Jabril Peppers and Jordan Lewis on the defensive side and the way they've shut down teams, what are your keys?
I think the biggest thing for us is to not get worn down. I think with their offense, their offensive linemen, they try to wear the defenses down. And that's what they've been able to do this year to teams, and I think that's why you see so many points, that they've put up. So, the thing for us is, we got to play consistent and tough football for 60 minutes. And I feel like, for the most part, we did that last year against these guys, did a pretty good job. And that'll be crucial to, control the line of scrimmage and to be playing downhill and fast physical football for the entire game.
Yeah, just on the offensive side, we got to win up front. It starts up front every week. Got to have a consistent run game, and when you do that, that opens up the pass. But, it's going to rely on third downs. Got to convert to get first downs to keep the offense on the field, give the defense a break, put points on the board. And when your name's called upon to make plays, you got to make them.
Yeah. I'd go off of what RJ said. Games are won in the trenches. Michigan's got a great front seven in their defense, so we really have to be able to play really tough in the trenches and hold our own and get a little bit of a push here and there. And then I think, like RJ said, you got to make a play. They got a lot of great talent, like a lot of teams in the Big Ten do, but especially with them, they got a couple guys, All-Americans, whatever. You can't be afraid to attack someone or make a play on third down or something like that. We got to have our guys on the outside go up and make plays. We got to have our quarterbacks give us a chance to make those plays, and we got to protect up from front, and we got to run the ball. So basic fundamentals, I think. You just got to make plays.
For RJ and Riley, if you can address on your side of the ball, why are you guys not making plays in the fourth quarter that this program has made in recent years, fourth quarter end of games? Why is it not happening this year?
Well, I just think, for us on the offensive side, it's guys that have to believe in themselves. They can make the play. We have all the talent in the world. Us being young, not having that being an excuse, but, guys have to go up and make a play. That includes with me. That includes, offensive line, includes running backs, includes quarterbacks. So I have no worries of us going up and make a play on either side of the ball. It's just at crucial times you have to make them.
I think it's just, as simple as you got to be locked in for the entire game. And I think on the defensive side of the ball, we haven't been for, whatever reason. And it's not acceptable. So our guys know that. This week is a huge week for us. Hopefully we can play good football for the entire game and come out with a victory so we can turn this season around. But I think it's just as simple as not being locked in the entire game, getting lazy, or whatever you want to call it. But that's not Spartan football, and we're doing everything we can to get back to our roots and what got us to the point that we have been in previous years.
This could go for any of you, but I guess we'll start with Riley. How much, what this game means to everybody that's been a part of it, how much do you hear from guys that have played in this game, past teammates, and what is their message to you guys?
Yeah, every year when we play Michigan, our video guys usually reach out to some of the older guys who have graduated and get videos from them, 30 seconds to a minute long of just what the rivalry means and how important it is. And I think it's important for the guys on our team to understand that this game goes way beyond, just our football team. I mean, in the state of Michigan, you either bleed green or you're with the school down the road, and it means so much to millions of people. And our guys need to understand that, and they need to play that way for the entire game.
Riley, when you go in a 5-game skid like this team is right now, it can really mess with a team's confidence. How fragile is this team's confidence, and how do you just suddenly get it back and get that attitude like you've had in previous years that you guys will win that fourth quarter and win that game?
Yeah, it's a tough thing to do, but I think it starts really in practice. You got to go out there and practice with confidence, and you got to get all the game plan down for the week and understand it and be confident in what you're doing first before you can go out there and do it. But like I said, I feel like we need that one game where we're making plays and we get a victory. I feel like guys will have their confidence back, and we can start rolling the season the other way than it's been going. So what better week to do that than this week?
RJ, I don't know if you'll be matched up on him directly, but how amped do you get to play a guy like Jordan Lewis? And when you see him, what do you see on tape? What makes him the player that he is?
Well, first of all, he's a great athlete. All of that secondary is, topping the conference, topping, college football. So as me, a competitor, it's going to be fun going up against him. Whoever I go up against, play in, play out, series in, series out. So it's going to be fun. I'm going to bring it, and I know they're going to bring it. So it's going to be fun, all day, either being lined up against him or Peppers or whoever is lined up against me.
Guys, you've talked about it throughout this press conference, but when you look back and you see things on film, whether on offense, the missed opportunities for touchdowns, or on defense, not getting off the field on third down, is that something that can be fixed by just watching film, or how do you guys try to overcome that?
Well, I think for us, a lot of the things on third down can be easily corrected, and that's kind of what's frustrating sometimes. All 11 guys on defense need to know exactly what's happening, especially in our third down package. There's a lot going on, but the guys they got to understand it, and if they don't understand it, they got to ask early in the week. So I feel like that'll be a huge emphasis for us this week. I'm going to do everything I can to get the game plan across to all the guys and help them understand it, because it's just little things, guys not being in the right position, or someone thought it was a different coverage than what it is, or just little things like that that can be fixed and that need to be fixed moving forward.
Kind of like what Riley said on that as far as the offensive side of things. For us, it's just you got to have all 11 guys going in the same direction, doing the same thing and doing their job. If you get one guy off beat, it's ruin a play on third down or ruin a touchdown opportunity. And I think we've just had that here and there throughout the season. It's really held us back a little time and limited our offense, so we just got to fix that.
Any of you can take a shot at this, but Josiah, you're a scholar athlete, a Campbell Award finalist. What would you say to anybody on campus who doesn't think you can win Saturday, or fans who think maybe there's something else they'd rather do this weekend?
I don't really think we focus on guys and people who are saying those type of things. We just focus on ourselves and what we need to do to get the win this weekend. So I'd just give a message to Spartan Nation and say, come out and be rowdy, give us a great atmosphere here on Saturday. It's going to be a fun game, and we're going to give them everything we got and lay it all on the line and play a tough game.
Riley, you were talking about getting everybody in the right spot and everybody doing their job. Michigan has a lot of formations. Jabril could be here or there. He could run this out of that. Mm-hmm. How challenging is it to play this team and the way they line up in so many different places, so many personnel groups? It seems like it could be challenging on you personally.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. For me, even watching film on them, I'm looking where I'm going to call the front or where I'm sending the blitzes and things like that is challenging because they're coming out in so many different formations and different personnels. But just for our guys, they need to get in and watch film, which they will, which we have, and understand that we got to contain. They got a lot of playmakers, so we need all 11 guys doing their job each and every play. It's going to be a challenge, but I truly feel like we got guys on our team that can get the job done. It's just we need to go out and execute and do it.
Riley, RJ, obviously you have your own motivation for Michigan State and why you want to win this game. But in addition, you could ruin Michigan's season. You could spoil their dream. Does any of that add to your motivation?
Yeah, I think it definitely does. We're just extremely, excited to play this game. We can't wait to be out in front of Spartan Nation and play a great game. We've been not executing the way that we should be the last, 5 weeks. So our biggest thing, we just want to go out there and get a win, not only just for us, but for Spartan Nation. So, they can hang their hat on something as well as we can. So we're excited for 12 noon on Saturday.
Just to piggyback on Riley, I totally agree with everything he says. And, this is a game right here that can turn our season around. Come on here at 12 and at noon and executing our game plan and making sure, that we do what we're supposed to do and have a good shot at winning this game.
Thanks, guys.